And today, as was stated, we are honoring 31 district employees from both the 2020 and 2021 school year who have reached the important milestone of 30 and 35 service years, all to the Clover Park School District. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we're not able to host an in-person ceremony to celebrate their accomplishments, but this does not diminish the significance of your achievement. And we hope today's program reminds you how much we value your service and your commitment to our district and to our students. I want to thank everyone that is tuned in to celebrate this important occasion. And I'd like to take a moment to welcome our school board directors, Board President, Director Dr. Marty Schaefer, Board Vice President, Director Alyssa Anderson-Pearson, Director Carol Jacobs, Director Anthony Velez, and Director Paul Wagaman. But before we begin the recognition, I would like to invite Board President Dr. Schaefer to the front of our Zoom room to share some words about the years of service celebration. Dr. Schaefer?
Well, thank you very much. I can't even tell you how exciting it is to sit here and think of that many individuals having worked that many years in devotion to students. And so my heart and the heart of the board is to advocate for public education. So we're advocating, but you individuals that we're honoring tonight, you have rolled up your sleeves and you have been in there. You are doing the work that we advocate for. And I am so appreciative of it. And I hope you understand that tonight we're acknowledging that what you've done is literally remarkable. And so some of you know that I work for one of the larger change management organizations in the US and the world. And I'm mentioning that because the average tenure of a person in a job is 4.6 years. That's the average in the United States. And you individuals who have done it for 30 plus, can you see why I said it's remarkable? And I mean, most of us have 12 different jobs, maybe even 3 different careers by this time. And you have stayed the course and devoted your lives to pouring it into our school district and our students and staff. Just, I hope you understand, we're so appreciative. And we also acknowledge the wealth of experience that you bring as well. So just thank you for these years, and may the ones coming forward for you be those kind of years where you're really able to impart some of that amazing life experiences that you've learned. So thank you so much for sharing that, your skills with our district. My hat's off, thanks.
Okay, so as part of our program and recognition process, honorees will be recognized in order of their school or department. So the supervisor of each department or school will announce their 30 and 35 years of service honorees. Our first is Rainier Elementary School and Principal Kylie Danielson.
All right, so I get to recognize Jill Capri and Griselda Villanueva. So when I think of Jill, one of the first things that comes to mind is that she is reliable. She has a heart for kids. When Dr. Schaefer was just talking about consistency, she is consistent and knowledgeable and supportive of her kids. She has a heart for the kids that she serves and also for her colleagues. She is super supportive and just a great colleague to our team at Rainier. So we definitely appreciate everything that Jill does for us and for the kids at Rainier. Griselda Villanueva, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of her is she's literally a ray of sunshine. If you know Griselda, you probably someone I talk to when Griselda comes up. She is just an all-around fabulous person, fabulous paraeducator. She really gives all students, military kids, and military families. She is phenomenal, and we are just so lucky that she's at Rainier.
Next is Dower Elementary School and Principal Megan Qualls.
Thank you, Leanna. I'll start by talking about Pamela Height. Pam Height has worked at Dower since 1989. She began her partnership as a parent, and she has evolved as an essential member of our staff. She is a positive ray of sunshine, truly. Regardless of what is thrown at her, she finds the positive and does it all to support our students, staff, and Dower families. Not only does she work here, but she lives in the community and she knows every bus route for every kid. And she's our go-to person when we have a question. She's also the only classified member that I've ever had that has attended the 3-day PLC in Seattle. That's how committed she is. This year, obviously, she's had to revamp her role and she's an essential part of our engagement team. She's created food routes, delivered resources, and helped revamp our school-wide reward system, which now includes grab bags and Uber Eats, which is actually me. Pam Height is happy to do whatever it takes to support students and staff. And just as importantly, she does it all with a smile on her face. We are incredibly lucky that Pam chooses to work within the Clover Park School District and are especially lucky that she chooses Dower. Our second person has been working in our district for over 30 years. Her name is Cammie Whitaker, and she is an example of the type of teacher you would want to see in your own child's classroom. She has a strong background as an instructional coach, and she's the type of teacher that builds up not only her students, but her colleagues as well. This year, she's taken the lead role of our Wellness Warriors Committee, and the committee focuses on the SEL of our staff. She's the first person to offer help in any situation, and she has a perfect balance with her students of compassion and expectations that they're learners. Cammie's unselfishness extends to all of those around her. This year, she has taken on the challenge of teaching 29 beautiful hybrid first graders and has welcomed every single one into her class with open arms from 6 feet away, of course. She's an example to others for how to truly put her students and their families first. We are incredibly lucky that Cammie chooses to work within the Clover Park School District, and especially lucky that she chooses Dower. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Next is Evergreen Elementary School and Executive Director of Elementary Schools, Tess McCartan.
Hi, I am delighted to honor Diana Dix for the 35 years she has served in Clover Park School District. I have to be honest, it took me a while to even get over the fact that she became a teacher when she was only 10. So that was just something else. She started her first year as a vision teacher and spent the following about 20 years as a special education teacher in different capacities at Furwood and at Greenwood. And she then became one of the first consultant teachers in Clover Park and eventually moved into administration as an assistant principal. Diana then became the principal of Evergreen, where every year that she's been the leader there, they have earned a School of Distinction honor, which is quite fabulous considering the heavy population of special ed students that they have there. Diana shared that her favorite part of her job is the bucket filling she gets from her students. Diana, it is really with deep admiration and gratitude that I honor you for your 35 years of service.
Next is Financial Services and Director Greg Hart.
Hi there, everybody. It is my absolute pleasure to be here to show our appreciation for Jill Andrews. Jill's been with the district for 30 years. So congratulations, Jill. Jill is, for as long as she's been here, is not used to attention, and she doesn't plan on getting used to attention. So I imagine she is very thankful that we're in a virtual mode right now. But you know what? Jill's just a joy to have around the office. She's had a number of different positions with our department over the years. She works very well with others. She goes above and beyond for her principals and her budget support, and many of you on this call can attest to that. I can see some nods there. So thank you, Jill, for all of your service. Congratulations, and on to the next 30 years, right?
Thank you, Greg. Next is Hustloff Middle School and Principal Cindy Adams.
I am so proud to celebrate Rainier Kitchen for her 35 years of service. Fun fact about Rainier Kitchen, You know, she could have written the Give Six program that we're doing in our district. Roimy models kindness every day to every student, to every staff member. She models the behavior that she wants, not just our students to have for each other, but for our staff to have to each other as well. Roimy is a product of the Clover Park School District. She still lives in the community. She gives back to the community. A few years back on a rainy day, Saturday, there was Roimy at the skate park, filling a wheelbarrow full of beauty bark to spread and to help make the kids swing set there. And that's Roimy. And if you've ever seen Roimy, she's pretty small in stature. So to have that shovel and wheelbarrow and for hours was amazing to watch. She's an inspiration. Roimy loves to run into former students when she's out and about in the community. She loves to meet their families. She loves to see them in their careers. And I really, really hope that Roimy knows. If not, Roimy, I'm telling you right now, you are a big part, a big reason why your former students are where they are today. I am so proud of you, Roimy, and I am so blessed to be your principal. Thank you.
And next is Lake Louise Elementary School and Principal Travis Holmgren.
Thank you. Well, I'm very pleased and honored to acknowledge two of our Lake Louise and Clover Park School District employees for the years of service to our district, Mrs. Yolanda Purcell and Ms. Margie Brooks. Ms. Purcell has been in the district for 36 years and started, believe it or not, at the old Park Lodge, which was the district office back in the time as a word processor, and then went on to many other different roles with a lot of departments through the district. We were lucky to get her 30 years ago. For the past 30 years, she's been blessing Lake Louise with her smiling face. She's made strong connections with staff and students, not only at our school, throughout the district. And oftentimes you will see many kids and families come back to say hi when they are in town. Ms. Purcell is extremely knowledgeable. She's industrious and willing to help out. With kids coming in late, she'll go and get a breakfast. She'll help them get a tardy slip. She works hard to make people feel welcome at our school. Also, Ms. Margie Brooks has been for 30 years for the district. She started out at Evergreen Elementary School in the developmental preschool, and for the past 25 years, she's been at Lake Louise as a kindergarten teacher. For those years, she's lent her warm heart and her smiling face to our energetic 5 and 6 years old. And she has a big place in our heart for those who are underserved, who have a little voice, helping them to feel special and well-loved in the classroom. Thank you, Ms. Brooks, and thank you, Ms. Purcell.
Thank you, Travis. Next is Lakes High School and Principal Karen Maurer-Smith.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So I'll start with Steve Anderson. Steve is also a product of the Clover Park School District and a Lakes High School grad. So he's spent a lot of years at Lakes High School. He retired last year, a wonderful math teacher. My daughter had him as well. And he had a way of making it okay to make mistakes and learn. And it was a very safe and friendly classroom. And he made a difference for a lot of kids who particularly struggled sometimes with math. So he was a patient, kind, wonderful educator, and we were very blessed to have him and hope he's enjoying a wonderful retirement. The next two are Sheila Beckstrom, and I've known Sheila for 14 of these years now. And one thing I will say is she has a heart for some of our kids who have the toughest of times, our success students, and there's nothing too big or small that she wouldn't do to help them succeed and be a voice and an advocate for them when sometimes the rest of the world isn't so kind. And she truly loves that work that she believes wholeheartedly was her calling. So we've been very fortunate that Sheila, who is also a product of the Clover Park School District, joined us at Lakes, and we appreciate your work, Sheila. And Karen Palmer I'm surprised at 30 years. like Tess said, she must have started when she was 10. So Karen, you are such a solid part of our team at Lakes, and you take such good care of staff and kids. The guidance office wouldn't run without you. And we know how much time and effort and how much value you bring to everything that happens at Lakes for kids. Thank you so much. And thank you all for those wonderful years of dedication and service.
Next is Lakeview Hope Academy and Principal Bob Richards.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor to honor Scott Mars for 30 years of service, not only in the Clover Park School District, but at Lakeview itself. Before we were called Lakeview Hope Academy, we were Lakeview Elementary, and Mr. Mars was there for the last 30 years. He actually started as a librarian at Lakeview and some other schools in the district. Then he did a year of first grade and 3 years of kindergarten. So now for the last 25 years, Mr. Mars has been one of our PE teachers, physical education teachers. And if you're wondering, how do you do PE in a virtual landscape, you should observe the lessons I've gotten to observe. It is a lot of fun. He gets our kids moving, and beyond the teaching, Mr. Mars goes above and beyond the call of duty in any aspect of the school. He'll help out. He knows every child in our school. We're a large elementary school. He knows every child by name. And now after 30 years, he knows many of their parents, some of their grandparents, aunts and uncles. Mr. Mars, thank you for making a difference on generations of Lakeview students. We're grateful for you.
Thank you. And next is Lochburn Middle School and Principal Greg Wilson.
I'm muted. All right. Hello, everybody. It is my pleasure to congratulate and thank Miss Elizabeth Davis on her 35 years of service to the Clover Park School District and our students. So I've worked with Mrs. Davis on and off for the past 20 years. Elizabeth came to Lochburn as a math and science teacher, and she and I were teaching partners for about 7 years. Whether it was during our time teaching together or in my role as an administrator, I have seen and know the caring and dedication that Elizabeth brings to work every day. She's always worked hard to build relationships and to teach and encourage our students to engage in school in a positive manner. She works hard to set up incentives and to encourage and reward students, not just for getting their work in or getting good grades, but more to become a positive and caring member of our school community. Elizabeth is a teacher that intrinsically and consistently lives the 4 pillars. She collaborates with her team. She shows leadership through her actions. She shows character through her caring. And she is definitely a lifelong learner that I've witnessed grow amazingly, particularly in the last year. Hey, Elizabeth, thank you for your service to our kids.
And next is Maintenance and Operations, Director John Boatman.
Thank you. It's amazing that Mike McClure has dedicated his career here at Clover Park School District for the past 35 years. Mike is really good natured, and we're really pleased to have him assigned as the evening custodian at ASC. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, John. Next is Meriwether Elementary School and Principal Leila Davis.
And I get to recognize Karen Reynolds, who has dedicated over 30 years, actually more like 34 years, to the educational field, and most significantly as a school counselor. And she has spent most of her time on JBLM, which has led to her being a great advocate and resource for our JBLM families. And while she just retired, actually just a couple weeks ago, I know that she's going to continue to be a positive presence on education, and we hope to see her back in a volunteer capacity, because she is such a great advocate for not only our staff and our students and our families, but just the community at large. And her 30 years of service is definitely something to be celebrated. So thank you, Karen.
Thank you. Next is Ookbrook Elementary School and Principal Lisa Boyd.
It is such a pleasure. I'm wondering if you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. It is my pleasure to congratulate Jennifer Truitt and Ted Henderson. They are both 30 years plus of service in the Clover Park School District. And Jennifer, and I love to talk about the fact that we have deep roots in the district, as we both grew up here and graduated from Lakes High School. Go Lancers. She even attended here at Ookbrook as a student many years ago, where we now teach. And so when I asked her about the best thing that she could pick out about her time as an educator here in the district, she told me that she absolutely loved teaching some of the children that were children of her previous students. It is such a compliment when you have kids so excited about coming back and being with the teacher that their parents have had. And so she was very excited about that. She lives in the community still, and she tirelessly gives of her time, energy, and resources to support the kids and families of our school community. So I want to thank you, Jennifer, for all of the love that you have shared over the years. I've known you for many years, as I started with you over when it was Lakeview Elementary School, and met you way back then. And then there is Ted Henderson, lovingly known as Mr. Hindu around these parts. And Ted is lovingly known as Mr. Ookbrook because he's been here so long. Mr. Hindu has served generations of Ookbrook students, their parents, and their families, and he's forged lifelong relationships with many of his students' families. And when I asked what he appreciated most about his time working for the Clover Park School District, he shared that the absolute best thing was meeting and falling in love and marrying his wife, with whom he met here at Ookbrook, and then being able to be his son's PE teacher, his son Nick's PE teacher for both kindergarten and first grade. And I bet your wife is going to be happy that that's what you picked as your favorite thing about being here, Ted. You've got some brownie points. But I know that there are many great stories of families who come back to visit you, who stay in touch with you, who have adopted you as part of their own families. And so we appreciate the relationships that you have built over the years and the caring support that you've given to both students and their families and the staff here at Ookbrook Elementary over the years. We thank you both, Jennifer and Ted, for your tireless service that you have given over the course of many years. Ted is also a graduate of Lakes High School. So the three of us have some really deep roots here, and we love to tell our stories. Thank you both for your hard work.
Thank you, Lisa. Next is Park Lodge Elementary School and Principal Angela DeShields.
Hello, everyone. It is my honor to recognize Kathleen Parrish today. As a first-year principal during a pandemic, my face-to-face time with Kathy has been limited. With that being said, I asked around to my staff who spent many years working alongside her, and I could not have agreed more when they described her as an amazing, kind, and caring person. She is always willing to help out. She's such a team player, and she has a wonderful rapport with her students. Many of her students even come back long after graduation just to say hi and to see her. She is a valued member of our Park Lodge family, and we are lucky to have her on our team. Congratulations, Kathy.
Thank you, Angela. And I have the distinct honor of recognizing our printing and publication staff member, Leslie Deal, for her years of service to the school district. She was the supervisor of printing and publications for many, many years, and a valuable member of the communications and marketing team. And really, if you could dream it, she could create it. She is amazing, and her can-do attitude, coordination, eagle eyes, and leadership has allowed us to really support all of school district operations, and that includes student learning and effective communications. She reached 35 years of service to the school district before her retirement last year. We miss her, but we know she is spending that special time with family, and we can reach out to her whenever we need her. Congratulations, Leslie, on a job well done and for your committed service to Clover Park School District. And then next is Special Education and Director Michaela Clancy.
Well, it's my great pleasure and honor to have 3 staff members in our special education team who have reached 35 years of service. And the first, Janice Anderson, is a speech language pathologist with us. And Janice is so student focused. She's incredibly dedicated to her teams. She's been part of our Child Find team, which is our earliest learners, and she's often parents and families' first introduction to the district. And she's just done an incredible job with that process. She has just retired, and she will be sorely missed. But her Child Find team leads wanted me to just highlight how she makes sure that that transition through that process and through that evaluation process, that we seamlessly connect her family to the school, to our community. And we just want to thank Janice for that work over the past 35 years. And we will miss her in her retirement. The next is Maura Cullen. Maura is a school psychologist. And Maura, I have such great appreciation. I have learned so much from you, as have many of our new staff members. Maura has mentored our school psychologists over that 35 years. I do not believe we've had a school psychology intern that has not spent time with Maura, and we have many staff members that have been trained by Maura in that. She's just an incredible institutional, she just knows how to get things done for our students and make things happen for them. And we greatly appreciate everything she's done. She's also a connector. She finds resources for students, even through a school psychology evaluation process, that many of us wouldn't have even thought to bring to that family and that student. Maura's heart is gigantic for her students, and we just greatly appreciate that work. And then there is Susan Tompkins, who is one of our support team members. Susan connects the dots. I have had to ask Susan for so many different data reports in the last few years that are outside of the process we've normally done. And I have never heard that's not possible from Susan, nor has anyone else. Susan handles our records requests from other districts, and she is often the only face to another district all over the nation, really all over the world, of our district. And she handles that with grace and persistence, even when that's not always going well. She really does handle that customer service perspective in all things so well, both for our district staff and our outside the district teams. And we greatly appreciate everything. She's so detailed, she's so persistent. And even if something is difficult, Susan will work on that for several days and then come back and say, hey, Michaela, I think we can do it this way. So Susan, thank you for always finding a way. Maura, thank you for everything you've done. And Janice, I hope you are enjoying your retirement if you've logged in. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Michaela. Next is Dr. Claudia Thomas Middle School and Principal Steve Sieberson.
Yeah, thank you, Leanna. I get the privilege of talking a little bit about Rose Scheit. She's our guidance secretary, and I've been with her now at Thomas and at Mann as well. And she can't be with us here tonight. Well, actually, I hope she is here with us tonight. She's been out due to her health condition. So it would be just amazing if she would be listening to this. So I'm just going to say a few thousand words about Rose. There's so much to talk about her, right? She's so good. Thank you, Rose, for your 35 years of serving students and staff. You are a humble, kind, compassionate, dedicated, and a selfless human being. Rose, you are someone you can count on every day. When something needs to be done, Rose would be that person who you could count on, and she would say yes. Rose, from the bottom of my heart and the staff at Thomas, we thank you and appreciate you for your years of service. to our Clover Park School District and students. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you. Next is Tillicum Elementary School and Principal Jeff Miller.
Hello there. I'm privileged to listen about two very valuable members at Tillicum Elementary School. First is Mrs. Price. She's a huge part of the Tillicum family. Mrs. Price has developed a reputation at Tillicum over the years as being a person that cares for kids. She has earned the trust of countless numbers of students and parents, as well as a few parents who are also her students. We sincerely appreciate her caring attitude and hard work. Mrs. Stillmaker has only been at Tillicum for a few years, but the experience she brings with her helps her to reach out to students and develop strong bonds with them and their families. Because of Mrs. Stillmaker's students, parents feel connected and cared for at Tillicum. Mrs. Stillmaker's efforts on behalf of students and parents at Tillicum is appreciated.
Thank you. Next is Transportation and Director Paul Vigil.
I have the privilege to recognize the following four individuals that have been part of our district and our department for 30 plus years. First, Miss Dean Turner. She's been a para on the school bus for 35 plus years. Miss Dean knows her job and she does it very well. She is the go-to person for all bus para training and has even won industry awards for the work that she does. But don't mess with her because she'll get back at you. Next, Sharon Strickland. She's been a leader in our department. She sets an example for her coworkers in work discipline and a clean bus, cleanest bus in the district. She's always willing to help employees, whether it's finding a bus stop or figuring out how to sign up for field trips. She goes above and beyond for her students and all students. Most recently, she's been raising money for a school in impoverished Africa. Leslie Hoffman, or Sue as we know her, has been a driver as well as a student nutrition worker. She's reliable and committed. Sue cares for her students and her coworkers. She goes out of her way and pays attention to the little details. No one goes without when Sue's around, whether it be a backpack, lunch, or anything else. She is giving and kind. And last but not least is Pete Jones. He's been a mechanic for more than 30 years and he'll do whatever is asked of him. He's even been assigned a route as he loves to drive students more than brake jobs. He was most excited when he got to drive the Daffodil Parade float for the district, and you can always find some candy hidden in his toolbox in the garage. I count it a privilege to work with each of you every day. Your service to students in our district and your longevity of your employment amaze me. Thank you for your incredible dedication and commitment.
Thank you, Paul. And last but certainly not least is Tyee Park Elementary School and Principal John Mitchell.
Okay, so I have the distinct honor of sharing with you a wonderful human being, Tracy Glenben. Most of us know her as Tracy Lundquist. But let me just tell you, when she was 23 years old, she did her student teaching experience at Hartwood Elementary on the McCord Air Force Base. She then left, went to Aberdeen, got that out of her system, taught for a year there, and then came to her senses and back to us at Tyee Park for the last 36 years. She has taught 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, years in the classroom. And around the 1999 time frame, she switched over to reading and writing and music only. She has had kids that have won at national levels of competition. Her kids did a lot of novel study, wrote to very specific groups of people, Pearl Harbor survivors, the Tuskegee Airmen, veterans in retirement homes, and provided them not only with their writing, but the artwork that accompanied that, just to bring some sunshine to those groups of people. They loved getting it. Can you imagine the contact and the relationships that she built with her kids and those groups? We haven't even gotten to the whole Veterans Day assembly piece. As a principal in the Clover Park School District, I always from afar thought, how cool would it be to have those kinds of Veterans Day assemblies that Tracy put on? And she had 4-star generals walk into and onto that campus. She has had colonels of all kinds, and just so many different I can't even, it just is amazing. When you walk into her classroom, it's like a museum. You can see all of the different people that have visited her classroom and on our campus and been part of our assemblies at Tyee Park. She threatened to make me dance with her, and I felt better about it when I watched Superintendent Banner and Mrs. Eakin and Miss McCartan dancing as well. I think I can probably do it now, but hopefully we can keep Tracy around for so many more years. She's got a lot of work to do. This spring, she's going to teach the entire school Jerusalem, and that will be a production in itself. So Tracy, thanks for being you, and thanks for being at Tyee Park.
Thanks, John. And for our final remarks, we'll have Superintendent Banner.
Well, wow. I could almost end by just saying, wow. John, I will tell you that if I could do it, anybody could do it. Thank you so much again to everyone that was involved in this ceremony. Leanna, you and your team, all of our administrators, and especially all of those folks who are being recognized tonight, to include the folks that are going to be recognized for shorter milestones. And we want those 5, 10, 15s to end up in 30s, in 35s. You guys are just an amazing group of folks to work with. I'm so honored. I really, really am honored. And it's because of what you do for our students, for our community, for our families, that I'm honored. And I just hope to live up to everything that you've put into the district. This closes our program out. I don't know how else to close it out except with a smile and to say thank you, and to say have a great evening, because we are better together. That is an absolute. We are better together. Thank you guys. You guys rock. I don't want to be anywhere else but here with you all. Thank you, everyone. Again, thank you, Leanna. Appreciate you for everything you've done.